Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a great fall and you've gotten out to shoot a ton. I'm in the swamps this week, and I've been fortunate enough to get this CTC Aspen to kind of test out. So I've been down here shooting about a week. I've put this thing through a lot of different scenarios. I've been wading in the water. I've been shooting from a kayak. So I think I've made a pretty good assessment of this ballhead. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about how this Aspen Ballhead kind of fits into my current gear rig and how I'd compare it to some of the other ballheads that I've used. So let's break this head down. It is the CTC Aspen, retails right around $279. It has a unique profile, which we'll talk more on. It's constructed from aluminum. It's got this hollow ball. Very simple in terms of a ball head. We've got a main adjustment knob, we have a friction knob, and then we have a panning knob at the base. Pretty amazing. This thing weighs like right around a pound, which I think for how it's constructed and the performance you get, I think that's very impressive. Now, some other highlights of this ball head. It's got amazing range of motion. Because of this unique design and engineering, this thing just is breaking all the rules and all the barriers of what I've seen other ball heads do. And that was really useful this week. If I was in like a really weird scenario, like my tripod's in 5 feet of water and the ball head and my camera are maybe just inches off the water, and I needed to make like fine-tuned adjustments, I had the motion and the range in here where if I needed to go from like horizontal to vertical, I could do that really quickly. The other thing I'll touch on is the hollow ball construction. So you don't see this with many ball heads, and actually this is the only one I can think of, but that design cuts a lot of weight. So you would expect a design like this to probably be around like 1.5 pounds to maybe 2 pounds. It looks similar to like an Acratech or a Really Right Stuff BH55. It kind of has those same components, but this thing weighs like half of those, it's only a pound. So there's some really unique engineering going on here to kind of cut that weight, but still give you the great performance. So the two highlights for me this week have really been that range and it's lightweight. Okay, so let's talk about performance. For me, it all comes down to ease of use and simplicity. I mean, the best ball heads that I've used are simple, period. And what I mean by that is I can simply unlock the adjustment knob. I can make a very small incremental adjustment. I can lock the knob and boom, it's rock solid. Now, I think the fluidity of the head is very important because not all ball heads are built with the same tension and just an overall fluid system. The instant you touch a Really Right Stuff BH55, you'll be amazed at how perfectly balanced the tension is. And that's why a lot of people regard that as like the best ball head ever. Now, I've experienced the same thing with this. I loosen it a little bit, and you can adjust the tension knob to kind of dial it in, but it's just like perfect tension. If I want to make a very small adjustment, which oftentimes when you're adjusting your composition, you're just moving a little bit. So I can do that. I've shot with this with like a 100 to 400, a heavy lens. When I lock this knob, it is locked. Now, the other pro that I mentioned earlier was the range of motion. And I can move this thing pretty much anywhere. I mean, the range that you get with this is amazing. It's definitely better than any other ball head that I've used before. And I think a lot has to do with that unique design. Now, some might not be crazy about the profile. I actually like it. And what I mean by that is just it's a little wider. It's just different from other ball heads that you've seen. I've found that balances the head really well. So when I'm carrying it around on a tripod, I don't really feel like it's heavy, and it's not. At 1 pound, it's not heavy. But it just doesn't feel like I'm lugging a tank around. That profile just doesn't make that much of a difference. It actually adds to just the overall use and experience with this ball head. So I've been really happy with how this ball head's performed this week, and I'm actually going to be replacing a BH30. I used that for years. I'm going to be using this now. I'm going to kind of rotate this into my full-time gear rig, and the reason being is I've just found the BH30 to underperform a little bit. When I do have a 100 to 400 on, it's sinking, it's drifting. I haven't experienced that with this head. And it's still lightweight, right around a pound. Compare that to like the BH55 at 2 pounds. I mean, this thing feels light. When I'm carrying it around, it doesn't feel like I'm lugging a tank around. So I've really appreciated that. So like I said, I've been happy. I'm going to use this full time now. I think it's going to be my go-to ball head. Now at $280, it's not a cheap ball head by any means. But I think the performance you're getting with this is similar to like an Acratech GXP or a Really Right Stuff BH55. And those are $500 heads. Now, there might be like a really, really small gap between this head and those, but you're also saving $200, and that's a substantial amount of money. So for the price that this head is, I just can't recommend it enough. I really think it's great. Although it is more expensive, I think you're getting the performance return with it. So that's it for this video, guys. Take care. If you've got any fall color left, get out there and make the most of it. Down here in the swamps, we've got maybe like 2 weeks left of really great color. So I'm just going to be running around like crazy the next few days trying to make the most of it before I head back north. So thanks again for watching, guys. Again, this is the CTC Aspen. Check it out. I recommend it. I've had a blast using it this week. So happy shooting. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.